Hello, I'm Mike, the Glampsite Builder. Today, I'm really looking forward to showing you guys our Airstream. We've been working on it for a while. We got it all dialed in. I think we have a couple little touches that we're gonna do out by the fire pit, make it look a little more cleaner, but came together well. First thing I'm gonna talk about is the exterior. I put this roof over the Airstream because I'm planning on having this park long term, and hopefully that Airstream will stay there forever and make me a lot of money. That's a game plan anyway. So what we're doing here is we put the Airstream where it's got to go, and we put a roof over it because it does two things. Some of these trailers can tend to leak over the course of time, and if that trailer was just sitting there in the Texas sun for the next several years, it's bound to spring an opening and a leak. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put the roof over the whole Airstream to protect it from rain and hail. And then it also protects you as far as the sun. So it will help keep the deck and the Airstream just a little cooler. So I built this cover to cover the Airstream, and you'll see when we walk over, I also have part of a patio that's covered. So if you notice along the bottom on the outside, we built a little skirt. It kind of hides some plumbing. It looks a lot nicer than just looking underneath a trailer and seeing what junk is underneath it. So what we did on the outside is, you see those posts, those are cedar posts that we took out of the forest here. And so the cedar posts are from here, and we got the roofing material at Home Depot, 2x6s and corrugated metal. And then the little skirt along the bottom, those are old fence boards we got from people that have taken down fences that I've talked about before, how I've scored a lot of cool reclaimed wood on Facebook Marketplace. So let's move on. What I got here is the cover to our Airstream deck. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on how I laid this out and why I did it this way. Okay, now I want to check out the inside of the Airstream and tell you what we did and everything about it. So first of all, my wife is an interior designer that works with me on projects, and I do custom homes and remodeling. So this is a collaboration between the two of us. I'm the guy that gets the mini split system put in and the painters lined up and get the cabinets built, while my wife comes up with the ideas for these lights and window coverings and how to fill certain areas and make it look pretty. So I'm going to start by saying the inside of this we totally gutted, except we kept the shell. So just, the inside shell we kept, and we had to patch here and there. But this was totally gutted. And we laid it out so that we felt like it would be the most convenient for a group of people to come in here. So it could be just 2 people, could be 4 people, because you can sleep 2 people in that bed or in the couch, and then there's 2 people back there. But anyway, so what you're seeing at the end of this is a couple of little brackets that we put up on the walls, and my wife hung those little lights from, and she put up the window covering so you're not looking into the spa area. We put the mini split system in, and my wife felt like it just stuck out in the middle, and so she added these little decorative storage containers that kind of match the vibe of the window and the light fixture. So she filled in those 2 areas there. But the mini split system, man, if you guys can pull it off and get a mini split system in your units, they're the best. And as a general contractor, they're just simple. A simple unit can heat and cool. They're quiet. I can't say enough good things about them. But anyway, so this table we set up because we felt like, well, what if it's cold? What if it's really hot? Somebody wants to sit down this and have a meal. I'm not going to do it, but this folds down. So I can take the stuff off of this, lift the tabletop up and drop it back down, and it'll lay flat against the wall. That enables you to have more walking space here. So for instance, if you were going to turn this sofa couch into a queen size bed, you might want to fold this down and have more room. So notice that the window coverings, we made them ourselves. I forget what you call this material, but it's like a bamboo, some kind of a bamboo weave material. So what my wife did is use these as window coverings and put these leather straps on, because there's a little buckle right here that you can undo the buckle and then have this roll down. So that's what we did there. I'm going to showcase our kitchen. So these cabinets I had built by a local cabinet maker here in North Texas. And of course you got to design what you want before you give it to the cabinet guy to build. So in our case, we got a microwave on top, an air fryer in the middle, and a fridge at the bottom. All these are just standard appliances that we bought online and built this cabinet. But notice how clean it looks in one little tower. You know, you can hang stuff off the back, put something decorative off the top, but I don't know, just a little bank like that that has the microwave, the air fryer, and the fridge, I think is pretty clean. And the fact that it's black, cabinets are black, handles stand out in gold, looks great. By the way, this backsplash, this is not real tile. It's a vinyl tile that my wife uses as a backsplash. And then I wanted to spruce it up with a little nicer wood. I don't have to use a ton of it, so I decided to use black walnut for this shelf and for this shelving unit here. We went with black walnut, and I had my carpenter make that little rack, and my wife designed it. But then we've got utensils, various drawers and storage down below, which is great. And then that little shelf up above, we fill with jars. We put that tray there, put little snacks or goodies to leave the guests when they get here. So that's this embankment. And well, at the end here, I guess I'll show what this is. This is where our electric panel is. We got our electric panel here, little broom in there, a little storage. So that's what this bank looks like. And then the next bank of cabinets is a lower cabinet for housing. We've got a water heater that's electric, and we store some extra water in there. And then on this side, we've got our trash and miscellaneous things you'd see under a sink. And one of them is, the red bag is the first aid kit. So paper towel holder. We try to keep things tucked in, make it look as clean as possible. We had this little cubby hole back here. So we created a shelf up above for some storage, but we were able to put the coffee maker back in that little alcove. So we got a sink. Notice we're trying to match colors, and you know, we're going for black and wood look, and the two go together really well, especially I think with gold handles, even though it is a little trendy. But so over here we've got a little shelf, again, made with black walnut. My carpenter, I just bought several pieces of it at Home Depot, and I like it because you don't have to paint it. It looks great, and I love black walnut. So salt and pepper shakers, think it looks cool to put the little hooks underneath, put cups up top. Got a little hot plate. This is kind of cool. We're kind of new to this. This is a Brita electric filtration system. So I don't want to be lugging around hot water bottles all over the place. People will need drinking water. So we've got the water in the faucet. They just need to pull this thing out and fill it up with water. Then you set this in place and you get water just by sitting it down. It's kind of noisy, but I think that solves a problem of clean drinking water, people being freaked out. If they see it going through this filtration system, I think they'll feel a lot more comfortable. So hot plate, water filtration system, coffee. We just got this countertop at Home Depot. So I do work with nice stuff, but I know how to find a deal, and it's fine to use certain products from a Home Depot. Everything doesn't have to be super custom and expensive. I really like what my wife did here for decorations and function. I want to point this out to you guys because I think we're going to get rid of this cutting board right here because it's plastic. And I know from being a builder, wood isn't the best thing to start cutting on and having bacteria in it. But then now I have heard about the health hazards of plastic, that cutting food on a plastic cutting board is not good for you either. So what I opted for is a stainless steel cutting board that's totally sanitary. So you guys might want to consider that. I learned that from a consultant. So I thought that was a good tip. So anyway, so here's a little storage area, books, making it look pretty. This is a pocket door. Or actually, it doesn't go into a pocket. I should call it a sliding door. A sliding door. And here's the bathroom that we rehabbed. So my wife put a little mirror there. You always need to look at yourself when you're brushing your teeth. We had to put it there because there's a window directly over the sink. And we know some people are going to want to be able to look at their pretty faces in the morning. So we added those little black walnut shelves. We added 2 shelves over there. So we got a hair dryer and we've got some towels, and we leave an open area for people to put their toiletry bags and so on. Here's the shower. It's not huge. That's why I can't get the whole shower in one shot. But it is a clean, nice little shower. And if you notice, the colors kind of go with the rest of the place. And, you know, we're going with the wood and the white and the black here. I know it's been done before, but that's what we're going with. So here is the bathroom. Got nice lighting, a window. It's small, but you can still make it cool and decorative and cozy and so on. So the next space is, I personally call it the cocoon. We got a queen size bed back here with a little nightstand and a lamp and power cords to plug in your phone and charge up things. So it's got windows on 3 sides, and we got black curtains. This place gets really warm and cozy and comfortable. So people really like sleeping back here. So we just painted the inside of this. We made the bed platform ourselves, put in this piece of furniture. My wife put up the curtains, and you got a nice little private, you know, we got a little curtain here that if you want, you can close it off, pull it off to the side. I put it behind the hook here, and there you go. So there's queen bed sleeping arrangements, or I think king bed sleeping arrangements. Remodeled bathroom. appliances and a little kitchen and the back end with a couch that folds in, has plenty of storage underneath it. It's really a good storage system. And the last tip I'm going to give you as I walk out of here is this little piece of rubber has saved multiple scars on your head. You got to put something here to protect it, because I guess if you're staying in that all the time, you're going to get used to it. But for people that just come in, we've had several people, actually it was me, they hit my head against this, so I put this rubber material with sticky back so that if you hit it, at least you're hitting the rubber and not a metal fin. So that's it in here. What we got here is an exposed area of the deck sitting in all the sunlight. So if you want to sit down, have a meal, maybe during the winter months, you know, you can sit out in the sun, and more of a formal dining area for 4 people to sit down and, you know, eat at this corner, look out over the view, and so on. So we got a little dining table. We got these really cool cedar Adirondack chairs. Got them for nothing, bought them used. I love it when I go to pick these up and they look just like this. I don't like them all fresh and clean, and try to stay away from bright reds and yellows. So here are the Adirondack chairs. We got 2 of them with a little table in between. I wanted to give this deck a little character. So as you can see, we've got all the cedar posts that we got out of the forest that are rough and rugged and I think look cool. But then we went with a 2x6 handrail. It's great so you can set your coffee on it along the top. So this is a combination of some materials from Home Depot and some from the forest. The other thing we added to this deck area are these oak slabs. Again, they came from this forest. We cut them down, had a portable sawmill guy come out here, rip me down about 15 slabs, so I got 1 slab there. And then I got another slab right behind me for seating. So this one, I got these really, really cool, you can't tell the quality of these things from here, but they're made out of hickory. I bought them from an interior designer that was using these in Montana. And I swear these chairs are over $1,000 each, the way they're handmade. And I got them for 150 bucks each. So, but I think you would agree that it adds a lot more character, you know, versus a plastic stool right there. So spend a little money, get something cool, get something that'll last. So I told you about these 2 countertops. Out here we decided to go with charcoal. So we are going to provide charcoal to our guests in the barbecue. We keep the charcoal in that container. Before I go over to the spa area, one of the things we recently added that is so cool is this screen. So we bought on Amazon a projector that sits on this table, and I think it costs like 198 bucks or something like that for the projector. And then we put up this screen that was 100 and something bucks, bought both items from Amazon. And I gotta tell you, man, we watched a little bit from this screen and it was cool. So we're planning on making this our Thursday night football location. So anyways, can't tell you the coolness of sitting on a warm summer night out on your deck with some candles and watching a football game or a movie. It was pretty cool the other evening. So I highly recommend looking into these. I mean, the whole setup's probably under 400 bucks and you got something really cool at your park. But I know that's controversial. Some people say, oh, you don't put TVs and stuff like that in the park. It's to get away. So I'm going to do a hybrid of maybe watching Cowboy games on the weekend and certain movies on some nights. So now I'm walking back from, you know, this, I'm calling this like the entrance to the deck. So we walked up those steps, walked over here, and then here is the door that takes you into the Airstream. See, my wife uses little decorations that kind of keep the theme going. So this deck we added because we wanted to make this a whole big wraparound deck experience. So we got a couple portable lounge chairs. These things are really comfortable and cool. You can move these around. We just leave them here. Depends if you want to be in the shade or the sun. Now this portable spa, I got to tell you guys, I know I'm a spa guy. I've had back surgery and I use spas. I've used them my whole life. I used to always buy the nicer ones used, but then it was always a hassle. I had to get 4 guys to carry this thing into my house, and it was a hassle going down the side of the house. Somebody recommended me this, and I bought it for 499 bucks. You can get them at Costco and Amazon. They're all made by the same manufacturer. Doesn't have the name on this side, but it's Saluspa. So who's ever making all these motors is mass producing it, and then they're making these tubs and putting Coleman or their brand name on them. But 500 bucks, best money I ever spent. And it's, believe it or not, I like this spa more than my old higher quality fiberglass spas because it's more comfortable in there. So big tip of the day, man. These things, $4.99, and now you can promote that, oh, you got a hot tub. You can ask me questions if you want a little more info on that. Again, we're looking to create coolness. There's where those beers went. Okay. I was going, man, I thought I had some beers here. Okay, so I know what I'm doing after this. So anyways, here's a little Airstream cooler that we bought. It's just if, you know, you have a group of people and you want to throw something in there and some ice on it. Has a little plug underneath. I think we spent like $3.99 for it. A little pricey, but again, I'm going for coolness, one of a kind. Airstream. So notice what we did here. We had our mini split system, and my wife was real big on trying to hide things, make it look good. So I have to point out, as being Joe Contractor, I couldn't cover up all of those grills. I only did that one little spot down below, and it covers the old tow hitch, all the metal. So we're trying to hide it, created a table to put some stuff on. This little cabinet we purchased used, of course. That's the theme, rustic and used for me. So I bought this. We're holding pool chemicals, fire starters, miscellaneous things for the barbecue. Here is one of my famous firewood holders. I just build these things with stuff that's in the yard and around the forest here. And again, I like making one-of-a-kind things. So let's try to keep the firewood dry. So I put cedar on the side of it, and these are all cedar planks that were milled here in the forest. So this whole structure is built out of material out of the forest here, and so is the firewood. Only thing from Home Depot is that little piece of roof. I want to show you on this side. This is what I did on the spa because I didn't want to take up all the walking space on the other side, so I needed that extra foot and a half. Okay, so what we got back here now, well, let me go over. We've got a cornhole area that we're just putting together. Needs a little bit of tidying, and it's we just put it here the other day. But so the Airstream area, we got a cool hangout spot in the trees to play cornhole. That big tree stump, I'm saving that thing for a project where I'm going to carve the top of it, and I'm gonna make that like a one-person bench or a one-person seat that they can sit in, talk to people that are playing cornhole, and a chance to make something creative and cool. As you can tell, that's my theme. So let me bring up another point: privacy and how you want to feel when you're hanging out here. So picture, you know, you're sitting here hanging out with your friends, and you know, you look in this area and people might be walking down the road, and I'm really critical to make sure we've got some privacy. So we built this out of reclaimed wood, free materials except for this piece I had. I mixed and matched. I bought these Adirondack chairs. They last forever. They're not made out of wood. They'll look this good years from now. I bought them on Amazon. You can get a pack of 4 of these things for around I think it was $157 each. Way worth it. Don't buy brand new wood and then try to paint it and make it look good. Now, I will say I have plenty of examples of wood that this little so this is just a little baby lounge chair, but it's just raw wood. I'm glad it's not painted. It'll always look similar to this. Painted will be chipping paint and so on. But I do have that in some parts of the park. I'm just saying that depends on the vibe of what you're trying to create. These Adirondack chairs are bulletproof and will last forever. So I highly recommend them. And then my fire pits, as you can see, I'm in the forest, but I want every one of my fire pits to have rock all around it. I have a lot more rock to put down, but I want to have rock all around the fire pit. I want to have a close by fire extinguisher. So this fire extinguisher can help somebody at the barbecue, or somebody could grab it and bring it over to the fire pit. This was just a little tree stump. I kind of do this sometimes every once in a while, where if a tree is sticking up like this, I might say, well, do I want to hassle getting the trunk pulled out and make it look flat and level? Or do I cut it like 24 inches tall and turn it into a little table to set a drink? I guess you can tell which one I went with. Okay, so another low budget, cool thing to do. I don't know what your park looks like, but hopefully you've got some areas that you could hang hammocks and chairs from. I just bought 3 more of these. People really like hanging out in them because I don't know if you know, but what you can do is you can sit in this and actually just lay in there and sit, or you can use it like a hammock where I have my hands. You can put your feet and your head at the end, and you can totally lay sideways on this thing, or you can sit in it. So I highly recommend these, just because low budget, add coolness, and it's one of the ways you can add character. Okay, the hammocks. I'm going to be honest with the hammocks. I put them up. There's one in each area. I like them, but not many people use them. I've laid in it a few times, but believe it or not, I think this hammock is like $19 on Amazon, and these hammocks have been up for about 2.5 years, and they're all strong, still holding you. If anything, think about it this way. Maybe you won't come over and lay in this. However, it sure looks inviting. So when you're putting pictures up online and posting in your websites, you know, putting a $19 hammock up in a tree And I think I just bought 2 of these last night, and they were like $38 each. You know, so for around 60 bucks, you could add the chair and the hammock, and they will look great in your pictures and Instagram and look inviting, and people will sit in it. But I am surprised more people sit in that chair than sit in the hammock. And then I'm just gonna go, it's not as exciting over here, but behind this privacy wall, we put enough room for 2 parking spots. So what I like about this spot is one car can pull all the way up to the privacy fence. Another car can pull in behind, because it goes pretty far, so you could stack 2 cars back to back, and you can also put a car in here. So one of the things you'll notice, what we try to do at our park, is we try to have the cars and the vehicles that they're driving in close to where they're staying, because you know, you might want to keep some clothes and things in your car, and you want it to be close by. You don't want to be sleeping here and you're wondering if your truck's getting broken into at the top of the street, even though that's no one around here to steal anything. But we thought it was important to be able to park your vehicle close to where you're going to stay, and also it will help when as far as separating the spaces. You got to pay attention, because you don't want to set up somebody's campsite and their fire pit is looking straight into the backyard. And I don't know, I just think that having some privacy and having some parking is great to have it by your space. If you have to have parking far away, just remember they got to lug stuff and carry things, so this is more convenient. However, you can see in our park, you know, we try to create areas to where it's all natural and where you can tuck cars in. Like we're going to have a spot over there where you can tuck a car in, or 2 cars. So that's it on the Airstream. I just want to let you know that we looked at the whole layout of the outside, the inside, and hope you enjoyed this video. I can tell you we get a lot of positive feedback from everybody that comes and stays here, from the remodeling, the creativity, you know, like things like this, where planters that are made out of just wood out of the forest, movie screens, hangout area, have a meal, barbecue, sit in a lounge chair, grab a beer from the Airstream, sit in the hot tub. When you're done with the hot tub that evening, you can go hang in the fire pit. So hopefully I painted a pretty picture for you guys and you enjoyed the Airstream tour. Thank you very much.